a second chance. You take my breath and I can't get it back. Might be time for me to face the facts. The best me is with you, but I know I got a lot to prove. They think we're too damaged to fix, but we're just working through a little rust. They like to say we're just young, but I know we won't give this up. Sometimes I lose my mind, and some days it's hard to find the reason why you stay by my side. You and I break our hearts open in half just to see if I won't put them back. No matter what they try, I'll stay by your side. It's you and I.
Hey, hey, hey. Happy Friday. How are you guys? Hello, hello. Hey, Sarah Z. Good to see you. Good to see that you could catch a stream, maybe, if you're still here. Normally you're in bed pretty early. But it's good to see you. I'm glad you made it live. I think about you quite often, actually. So it's good to see you here. Thank you for joining. I, um, it's really good to see you. And hey, Cree. Hey, Vaulty. I went and added a new member to my overlay. I added Kuma since she is a regular pain in my ass that I love so much. And she is now featured. Well, she's always been an emoji on a member emoji, but I figured let's add a face to the stream since she's always right by me. And she's the one I always have to pause for. So I figured why not? But it's good to see you guys. Hopefully my audio is okay. I made some adjustments to panel audio too, if anybody comes up. So hopefully there is no, I don't want to say echo because you guys didn't hear any echo, but damn, I didn't know she was an emoji. I think she is. Oh, there she is. Yep. She's kind of hard to see when they're so little, but yeah, she's always been an emoji. I wish they were bigger because they are hard to see. I had to put that pink around her because you couldn't even tell really what it was. But yeah, so I figured I would add her to the screen. The right side was when she was a puppy, and she's got those ginormous ears, and then the left side is present day. So anyways, but it's so good to see you guys. Do you guys have any big plans this weekend at all? I was already a member, but I had to wait for a new card. Oh, no worries. You got hacked. I have so many people have been getting hacked recently. A lot of people. It's kind of crazy. Um, my husband was listening to a podcast and he was trying to explain it to me. I should listen to it because it was going over how hackers will build websites that look identical to websites that you think you're signing up for, and they just gather the information and the data off of your the site, and then they also use it for if you're doing surveys to get gift cards and stuff. I need to get it the name of it because I know I'm totally screwing up whatever he told me. Yeah, vault that happened to you, and then I think it happened to Jen too. But it's been happening a lot to people. I wonder, are you guys shoppers of Temu by chance? I mean, you don't have to answer that if you don't want to, but I know that a lot of people have problems with Temu. I I placed one order with Temu, and then he was like, "No more Temu. There's way too many problems with hacking in Temu, so I can't shop there anymore, but I want to." Their stuff's so cheap, so I don't know. And I don't know why it's happening so often. But anyways, so um today we're gonna go over the Joi Dickerson-Neal case. And nope, no Temu. Huh. I wonder, some site dribble kept hitting on my account. It's for freelancers. Never heard of it. Huh. That's weird. I wonder where they're getting this information from. It's scary how easily they can. I get these like data breach things all the time, these notifications about, and they're big companies too, which is scary. But let me see if this is the website, because, or not website, the document, because I heard, I was going through one of these documents and it talked about old, okay, it is this one. Yesterday when Georgie was up with me, we were looking over a timeline about old Combs cases, and we're like, I wonder if he's had previous assault cases and whatnot. Well, the lawsuit that we're going to go over today, when I was looking at it, there are previous cases that haven't been named yet that we've seen in everything we've gone over. So I was like, oh, this is very interesting. So, and I still need to go on a hunt to see if I can figure out who this third assailant is. So, and yesterday's stream, I went and added timestamps. I need to go back through the old streams and add timestamps because I think that's going to be a lot easier. And I think that Georgie will be here sometime. Hey, don't say much. Good to see you. Good to see you. I was going to try to see if I can find you on Instagram, but I didn't know what your name was because whenever someone, you know, sends a super chat or gives memberships or something, I've been sending messages just as a thank you. And I didn't know what name you'd be under there, but just know that I wanted to send you a personal message just to show my appreciation for what you did yesterday. So, and then I know that Danny knows a lot about the Diddy and the hip hop community and the Jaguar right stuff. I don't know how to get her the link though. If she ever wants to come up, if Danny is listening, I can always get her the link. So, why does this say? What did I do? Give me one second. I'm trying to figure out what this is. Whoops. Okay. I had audio twice. That was weird. Okay. Yeah, I had my audio twice. Okay. So, I guess we'll start with the Joi Dickerson. I did find the opinion and order for the case yesterday about Jane Doe staying anonymous. So if we wanted to go over that later, or, oh, let me tell you, I have to read this to you because we were talking about this um, statute that opened up that allowed all these lawsuits. And so I was going to kind of give you an example of what allowed all these old cases to pop up. So when we see all these, it's referencing the New York City Victims of Gender Motivated Protection Law, the VGMVLP. It provides a civil cause of action for victims of crimes of violence committed because of gender or a basis of gender and due at least in part to an animus based on the victim's gender. Beginning on March 1st, 2023, the statute of limitations for allegations under New York City's VGMVPL will be extended for 2 years to afford alleged victims of gender-motivated violence a 2-year look-back window to bring a civil cause of action for claims that have previously time barred. Individuals will have from March 1st, 2023 to March 1st, 2025 to commence a civil lawsuit against such alleged wrongdoers and institutions where they may seek compensatory and punitive damages, injunctive and declaratory relief, attorney's fees and costs, and such other relief as a court may deem appropriate under VGM VLPL. VGM VPL. It's like a tongue twister. For participation in such crimes. Let's see. A private cause of action for any individual who has been injured by another individual in a crime of violence that is motivated by gender. A crime of violence is defined as an act or series of acts that would constitute a misdemeanor or felony against the person as defined in state or federal law. If the conduct presents a serious risk of physical injury to another, whether or not those acts have actually resulted in criminal charges. It protects individuals who are victims of violence that are specifically motivated by gender, which occurs when the act is committed because of gender or on the basis of gender and due at least in part on the victim's gender. That's a weird sentence. This means that when an attacker targets an individual, at least partly because of that individual's gender, they have violated the VGMVPAL. They forgot the L at the end. Oh, that was long, if that made any sense. But that is why all these lawsuits have been filed for all these old cases. That doesn't make sense though, because it says it's a 1-year look back, but March 1st, 2023 to March 1st, 2025 is not a year. So that's weird. Unless I'm misunderstanding something. So, but whatever. They know more about this. I wonder what the statute would be for criminal charges on something like this. I mean, if they can sue for civil, I need to look up what the criminal statute is. I'm sure it's long past. So I think, let's see, I think Georgie will be here when she can. So I will go ahead and proceed. Let me pull this up here. Give me one sec. Okay, hopefully you guys can see that here in a second. Should be popping up. And then, so this one was filed. What was the order on this one again? Sorry about that, guys. Wanted to see what order this one was. This one was filed. This one was filed right after Cassie. So Cassie filed hers, and then this one filed next. So, okay, this one is for Joi Dickerson-Neal. And then we have against Sean Combs, aka P. Diddy, Bad Boys Entertainment, DBA Bad Boys Records, Combs Enterprises LLC, filed in the Supreme Court of the state of New York, County of New York, filed 11/23/2023. Let's see. This is just the summons. If I remember correctly, she's got a female attorney on this one. Scroll up. We already read that part. Okay. So it says here, nature of the action. Plaintiff brings suit against defendants to redress the substantial and lifetime injuries she has suffered as a result of being drugged, sexually assaulted, and abused, and being the victim of revenge porn that Sean Combs or P. Diddy created and distributed. Now, real quick, as with all of these cases, just understand that they're sensitive in nature. If they are too much, please, catch a stream that is not related to Diddy, because what he did or his cohorts did is it's pretty it's pretty vicious. It's disgusting. Um, you just always protect yourself first and protect your mental health. So if it's too much for you, just please skip this stream and catch another one that is not related to uh, the allegations against Diddy and his partners. So I just wanted to make sure that you guys protect yourself first and foremost. Okay. Never even, sorry. I read your comment and I thought it was about the lawsuit, but it's actually about your card. Okay. Plaintiff complains pursuant to the New York common law, and then it says New York Services for Victims of Human Trafficking law, civil rights law, and then it's the revenge porn law. And then we've got that Gender Motivated Violence Protection Act. And then it seeks injuries to redress the injuries she has suffered as a result of being sexually harassed, abused, and a victim of revenge porn. Joi Dickerson was a college student at Syracuse University pursuing a degree in psychology and filled with hopes for a bright future. While Miss Dickerson did not come from a family with means, she was raised by a single mother who instilled in her high moral and ethical standards and a strong sense of civic duty. She was whip smart, beautiful, and aware that her good reputation was an important asset to be safeguarded. On January 3rd, 1991, while on a school break for the holidays, Miss Dickerson reluctantly agreed to an early dinner with Sean Combs or P. Diddy. They had many friends and acquaintances in common, and she had appeared with Combs in a few clips of a music video. I wonder what music video she was in. Hmm. After dinner at the famous Wells restaurant in Harlem, home of chicken and waffles since 1938, Combs pushed Miss Wells to keep him company as he attended to a few things in the city. Getting into Combs's car that day was something Miss Dickerson would come to regret forever. During their date, Combs had intentionally drugged Miss Dickerson, resulting in her being in a physical state where she could not independently stand or walk. Driving first to a music studio where she could not get out of the car, Combs proceeded to a place he was staying to sexually assault her. As was his place, but unbeknownst to Miss Dickerson, Combs' video recorded the sexual assault. There we go. He's recording this again. The more and more that comes out, the more disgusted I know. I can never buy any album of his, nothing. Like, I think his reputation is shit now. Um, where was I? Let's see. As was his practice, but unbeknownst to Miss Dickerson, Combs' video recorded the sexual assault. Days later, a friend revealed to her that he had viewed the sex tape along with other men. Horrified, Miss Dickerson asked how many others saw it, to which he responded, "Everyone." Miss Dickerson's life went into a tailspin. She returned to college, but soon had to be admitted into the hospitals for severe depression and suicide ideation. Unable to function, she dropped out of college. That's so sad. That's really sad. And she was going to a good college too. Um, Miss Dickerson has struggled with her mental health and career progression thereafter. The sexual assault and public exposure of it caused her to suffer overwhelming feelings of humiliation, embarrassment, violation, and constant apprehension about who all viewed it. No kidding. As Combs's success and wealth rose quickly, she tried to block his existence out as she tried to put her life back on track. Still today, Miss Dickerson continues to work on her emotional health, economic recovery, and finishing her college degree. Seeking accountability from Combs under the law is one more step in that journey. You know, thinking about this, I bet all these lawsuits against him feels like a sense of closure for these women, you know? Like, I I believe that either Combs or the other defendants have stated that it's all a lie and a money grab for them. But I mean, I don't know. Based on the allegations in the complaint, I feel like there's an there's enough if he really does have video of all of this stuff. And I feel like it would be a sense of closure, to get justice for it. At least it would be for me. Hey, Carrie, good to see you. I'm glad you could join. I didn't post the stream anywhere else. I just kind of scheduled it and I didn't post it to my social media at all. So, um, and I don't know that notifications actually went out on this. So, um, but I'm glad you could join. It's good to see you. I just can't believe these men. It's just, I mean, it can happen with women too, a sense of power, but all of these lawsuits and these allegations are absolutely terrible. let's see, procedural requirements. These are just going to be the laws. This kind of goes to, well, this is the New York Adult Survivors Act, which is beginning on November 24th, 2022, created a 1-year look back window for the survivors of sexual assault that occurred when they were over the age of 18, allowing them to sue their abusers regardless of when the abuse occurred. The ASA allows survivors to sue for any intentional or negligent acts or omissions by a person for physical, psychological, or other injury or condition suffered as a result of conduct which would constitute a sexual offense as defined in Article 130 of the penal law committed against such person who was 18 years or older. So there's technically two laws. There was the 1-year look back law and then the 2-year law. Plaintiff is a woman who is older than 18 who alleges penal law violations include but not limited to, and then it states a bunch of laws there. This was weird. It said 6, but there was nothing there. There's no statement there. Courts have found that the ASA revives any civil claims that arise from conduct that constitute a sexual offense, and then it cites Wilkie versus Hempstead, holding that plaintiff could bring false arrest and false imprisonment claim under the ASA as those particular claims arise from conduct that constitute a sexual offense. Thus, plaintiffs' claims under the New York common law, the New York Services for Victim of Human Trafficking law, the New York State Revenge Porn law, the New York City Revenge Porn law, have been revived under the ASA as they arise out of conduct that constitute sexual offenses. Oh, here's the one we were talking about earlier. This is the NYC Victims of Gender Motivated Violence Protection Act. This is the one I mentioned earlier with the March 1st, the look back window, which runs 2 years. Kind of went over that, so I'll just keep going. It says, let's see, a party who commits, directs, enables, participates in, or conspires in the commission of a crime of violence motivated by gender has a cause of action against a party in any court of competent jurisdiction. Hey, Georgie, I've got it open for you if you whenever you want to come up. No worries if you don't. Let's see. The appellate division has held that sexual assault is an act of gender motivated violence under the law, and then go on to that. Okay. The above described conduct of defendant Combs, including but not limited to defendant's physical and sexual assaults of plaintiff in New York City, constitute a crime of violence and a crime of violence motivated by gender against plaintiff as defined by NYC Gender Motivated Violence Act. So a lot of that was just kind of dry stuff, to be honest. But and then we go on to the parties. Let me make sure I've got my thing open for Georgie if she wants to come up. Yeah, I do. Okay. It goes on to parties, and then it's defendant Combs. Obviously, we know who he is. Prior to the release of Combs' debut album in 1997, Combs was a prominent member of the New York hip hop community. From 1990 to 1993, Combs was well known for working as a talent director at Uptown Records. I don't think we've seen that posted in any lawsuit yet. Combs, also known for throwing parties that attracted thousands of attendees, including the who's who in the hip hop world. In 1992, he founded Defendant Bad Boy Records. In 2008, Combs was the first male rapper to get a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Did you guys know that? I did not know that until this complaint. In 2002, Forbes estimated that Combs was one of the wealthiest hip hop artists in America, and that his net worth was over $1 billion. Hey, sweets, good to see you. I didn't realize that in 2022, he was estimated that one of the wealthiest hip hop artists. Well, okay, wealthiest hip hop artists. I could see that. Upon information and belief, Combs has a history of committing physical and sexual violence against women as documented in publicly available lawsuits and extensive media coverage. So, would you guys be interested if I went and sought out all of his old cases that we come across? Or are you interested in just the current lawsuits? You'll have to let me know. Because now, and I apologize, I used red. We're getting into lawsuits that have not been mentioned in any other lawsuit that we've read. So, Georgie, you remember how we were talking last night about the timeline and if he had any past run-ins or lawsuits regarding similar acts of sexual violence towards other women. And until this complaint that I'm reading right now, I hadn't seen anything. And that timeline that we looked at didn't have these either. But it says on here on May 8th, 2000. Let me actually increase this because with this red, you might be able to see it better. Because it is kind of dark. Hopefully you see that better. It might be easier for you guys to read anyways. Oh, hold on. Hello.
Hey.
Hello?
Hello?
Oh,
Can you hear me?
hold on. Just a minute. I think that's me. Hello?
I don't have my program on. Can you hear me?
Oh, and I didn't mute. Hello?
Can you hear me? You can't hear me, huh?
Oh, shit. What'd I do? Don't drop. Let me figure this out.
I have to have my program running.
Where'd you go? Don't be a butthead and drop. There we go. There we go. All right. Now try talking.
I think I have to have my program running. The way I got it set up. Can you hear me?
You're talking.
Nope. You can't hear me.
Hold on.
I can hear Georgie. Vault said she can hear me. Why can't you hear me? See, Vault, see how this goes? I don't hear myself, though. That's good. Hey, sweets. Now I hear myself.
Am I crazy? Can you guys hear anything? You can hear?
Vault said she can hear me.
Oh, wait, hold on. Is there double?
I feel like there is. I mean, I can hear myself. That's okay, though. I'll deal with it.
Can you hear now?
No. I don't hear myself now. But can you hear me?
Do you still hear? Do you hear double?
No, I don't.
You don't hear double?
Not now. Nope. Not now.
Okay. So I made some adjustments, so I wasn't sure.
That's cool. That's cool because it was getting confusing. But that's good. I'm now
Georgie is.
echoing.
Oh,
Oh
okay. Hold
my!
on. I think I know what I.
I'm in a can.
Is it echoing now? And can you hear Georgie?
I can hear Georgie, but she was echoing. But not now.
No more echo.
No more echoing. It says no more echoing.
Okay.
I can drop.
Nope.
Obviously,
You're
I
fine.
don't know.
I think I got it.
I hate that. Maybe we should do this when you're not live, because I don't want to
No,
screw your program up.
no. Well, no.
Then we
It's
can
fine. Um,
play with
I
settings.
think it's fine now.
And I don't even think she hears me. Or maybe you guys don't hear me in the chat, and I'm talking to myself right now, which I do a lot. Yep, I do a lot. I even talk to my dog. My dog is my sous chef because I'm trying to teach her how to cook.
What are you talking about? You can't hear me?
I don't know. Oh, you hear me? Okay. Now you hear me. Okay.
You can't hear
Don't
me?
say I can hear you.
Okay.
Everybody says they hear me. Hey, fight like a girl.
And is there an echo?
Not now. Nope. Nothing.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know. For them, I don't know if there's an echo,
Well,
but
see, the thing is that if I wasn't doing it live, then how would we be able to test it? You know what I'm saying?
well, no, I meant with your. We could have done a different live just as a goof live. This I felt was so your program. You know what I mean? How's that working out for you, Georgie? How's what working out for me? Oh, my dog is a sous chef. She listens. She doesn't help much.
Here, you talk. I'm going to mute for a second so I can hear you.
Okay. Okay, so um I don't know what I walked in on. I was late. But hello to everybody. No echo and I hear both of you. Don't say much. Thank you.
Okay, it sounds fine.
Okay.
I just wanted to see if there was
Walt's laughing about my dog being my sous chef.
your sous
Trying
chef.
to teach. I'm trying to teach her, but she's short. Her little arms don't reach the counter. So
Your dog. What kind of dog's it?
Boston Terrier. I'm just joking, but I do talk to her all the time. Actually, it's my sister's dog, but okay. So we're on Diddy. Blah, blah, blah. We're
Mm-hmm.
on Diddy. And what have you
Yeah.
gone over so far? Just a quick rundown, so I'm caught up.
Actually, not much. I'm only on page 7 of this. I was kind of just chatting in the beginning.
Okay.
And we were basically just talking about the look back. Were you listening when we were talking about the look back law? It was in this document.
Mm, I had it on and I was helping my sister, and then I had
Yeah.
to get in and do something for her because she has a MS. So
Yeah. No, I understand. And please don't ever feel like you have
no,
to
I,
be
I
up
mean
here.
I'll let you know if
Yeah.
she does her thing, but I
No,
help her with her.
I knew what you're doing, but I didn't. It's
Okay.
not my business to tell why.
No, she's okay
What
right
you're
now.
doing.
You're okay right
So,
now, right? Right, sissy? She's shaking her hand, kind of like, yeah.
you're so sweet.
Okay.
You're taking care of her.
She goes, it depends on her day. Um,
Yeah.
your dog is a taste tester? Yes. She is a taste tester.
Aren't they all?
I know.
I put Kuma on my overlay since she's always right here, and
Oh,
she
is
is
that
right
your
here.
puppy that runs under your desk?
Yeah, and she's there right now.
Oh, what a big bully. Look at that big bully.
I know, right?
It runs under the desk. She's
Yeah,
beautiful, though.
she takes up the whole thing. Well, she's almost 100 pounds.
Wow.
Are you there? Oh, yeah, you're
I'm
there.
here.
Oh, yeah, she's almost 100 pounds. What's crazy
Yeah.
is that she was like 5 pounds different from me. Oh, thank you so much, Fight Like a Girl. I appreciate that. I
Hit the like button too. Could people hit
thank
that
you.
thumbs up?
Oh, I forgot. I did have something here I set up. Where'd it go?
Because that helps her stay in the algorithm.
There we go.
What do you want?
Huh?
No, I don't need that light on. Thank you. No, I was talking to my sister. I'm sorry. I should have muted.
Oh, you're okay. Um, but I was saying, you know how yesterday we went over that timeline?
Hmm.
I put some text up there. I had it ready for you. Now when we were talking about that timeline yesterday, we were talking about like old, like what kind of cases or, run-ins that he had had in the
Hmm.
past. And we looked over that timeline. Well, this complaint here lists other lawsuits. And so I was like, oh, well,
Prior. Other
yeah,
lawsuits prior to the one with
yeah,
Casey. Okay.
yeah. Um, and I don't know the status of the, well, 2007. I'm sure that one's long gone. So I was asking, should I look into these old ones and see what
Are they going to
what
be able to
happened in
use
them?
them? Like you said, do you think they'll be able to use that in these,
Use the allegations
yeah, the past
or
allegations? Do you think they'll bundle those all together?
I mean, I don't well, what do you mean bundle them together? Like bring what he's done in those into this lawsuit?
Yes, yes.
I don't know if these cases settled out of court or I don't know anything about them. I haven't looked into them,
I'm
but
sure he settled them. I bet you. I
he
bet you he
probably
settled
did.
them. Hmm.
But I'd be curious to read the complaints on them. And I mean, I can look into that if that's something you guys are interested in. I can see if I can find anything out. You'll have to just let me know. There's our in California. Okay.
Oh, I gotta put it on live chat. I forgot. I might be missing stuff. All of Diddy's past history. She wants all of Diddy's past history? Is that what Vol
Oh,
said?
I think that Vault was saying that that's what we were talking about when you
Oh,
were
okay.
asking. But I guess we'll continue on this complaint. If you guys are interested in these other, like line 22 here says that on May 8th, 2017, Cindy Ruida Combs's personal chef filed a suit in Superior Court of the state of California for the county of Los Angeles, alleging that he sexually harassed her. So,
Hmm.
like, I'd be curious to know what the complaint says in that. You know,
Hmm.
I bet it's pretty similar, and I'm surprised that it hasn't been brought up in the media. So was he just paying off these people, and then in the meantime, he was becoming more and more evil?
Look that way.
He probably got more daring because he was getting away with it. That's in my opinion. You
Hmm.
know, it's kind
I
of
think
like
you're right.
you don't like. Well, I'm not comparing saying he's a serial killer, but you know what I'm saying? Like they are like, okay, I got away with this, so now I kind of know my boundaries and what I can get away with.
I bet Diddy paid them off and they were dropped. Sure, tell us all. She wants to know everything. Don't say
Okay.
much, wants to know it all.
Yeah, I'm gonna
It would be
just
interesting, possibly, yeah, but just,
look
I mean,
into.
you're probably gonna, those probably are paid off for. Otherwise, I think they would come up now in some kind of tabloid, don't you think? Those would be like, if they were
I would think we would
still
have heard
open,
more.
yeah. I think he settled them. They had to have. I think he's probably
Um,
wishing he could settle the ones he's got now, but I don't think he's gonna be able to settle those, will he?
I'm curious how he settled the Cassie case by the next day. Like that's really quick. Really quick.
Um,
I can't think of a case that I've seen settled the next day of that magnitude.
I'm sure it was probably millions.
Oh, yeah. And I saw that I think it was last year Diddy like gave rights back to artists. I have the article. I'd have to pull it up. It's on my phone, but I didn't realize that he had ownership
You
to.
mean their catalogs? Their
Yeah,
album?
I don't want to misquote it. I probably shouldn't have even brought it up, but um,
Vault wants to know how much money did she get?
Cassie, I don't know. Those are generally aren't public when they settle, but
He probably gave her a big amount and then
mhm.
also said, had her sign that NDA, and then also stated he wouldn't have any contact with her. I mean, things to appease her so she'd just drop it.
I'm curious if she's going to end up being a witness to any of these cases.
Which you said
And
they could bring her in. You said they can bring her in even
well, I
though
mean,
that,
she can be subpoenaed, or even if they subpoena her for a deposition,
so that knocks out her NDA with him for the settlement.
if she's forced to testify to it.
Mhm.
So, okay, let's see. And then it says in 2019, Gina, oh boy, I can't pronounce that, Hunyh, an ex girlfriend of Combs, detailed in an interview how he physically abused her. I have to find that article in an interview. 2019. Gina. I need to find another color that's not red. Okay. That was page 7. Sorry. And then we've got November 16th, 2023. That was the Cassie one, which we already went over. Filed a suit in the Southern District of New York, alleging that Combs forced her to film herself having sexual intercourse with a sex worker. Wait, that's forced her to film herself having so. I don't remember it that way. I don't remember the complaint saying that. Forced her to. I thought he always filmed. Like he had some like weird ass fetish. Given the extent.
Maybe he set
What?
the camera up and everything and just said, "Okay,
You have to
you're
film
being
yourself?
filmed." Yeah.
Yeah, because I thought he always like filmed. Anyways, says given the extensive media coverage of Combs's abusive treatment of women, defendants Bad Boy Records and Combs Enterprises LLC had knowledge and were put on notice of the sexual allegations made against him. And then we've got defendant. Do you guys like it big like this? I mean, I made it bigger to read the red, but this is how I had it. Do you prefer it large
Yeah,
or
it looks good big. I got old
to make
eye.
it okay, bigger? Okay.
It looks good.
Uh,
I think it looks good.
this way?
Yeah,
Okay.
I really don't notice a difference from yesterday though, but maybe it is a little bigger, yeah, but it looks good.
Well, this is how I
Oh, that
had it.
looks good too. That looks good too. I feel like I'm taking an eye test. Hey,
Yeah.
I'm
Huh?
surprised there's nothing with Mary Blige
A lawsuit against her? Or,
and Little Kim. No, I mean, like, has he acted that way with Mary Blige and Little Kim? That's I'm surprised none of that's come up.
yeah, I don't know. Um, what about the what I can't think of her name. She's like, "Who's got the keys to the Jeep?" You don't want me to sing. Um,
Who's got the keys to the Jeep?
yeah. Oh, what the hell's her name? I can't think of it. I'm not singing. If you're gonna try to push me to sing, I'm not singing. No way.
Oh, come on.
Well,
Missy Elliott, who am I thinking of? I'm
waiting
just
for
going
info.
off the top of my head.
J-Lo.
Um, who's got the keys to the Jeep? Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Who got the keys to the Jeep? Beep beep. I feel like such an idiot. Oh my gosh.
I don't know. I really don't know.
Oh,
Let's wait for
jeez.
the J-Lo. Don't say much says I wonder if he ever used blackmail via the videotapes in some of the cases. Didn't he have cameras everywhere? Yeah, he did. Don't
Yeah,
say
I
much.
guess he had hidden cameras in every single room.
And I wonder if they found the tapes, the coverage or whatever.
I so with as much as he travels in his many homes, I'm sure he had access to those everywhere. Missy Elliott. Okay. Yep, that's who it is.
I named that. Nobody said yeah.
Missy. No, you said Mary J. Blige.
And then I said Missy Elliott. And you guys,
You
nobody
said Little
said nothing.
Kim.
And then I said Missy Elliott. That's okay. That's okay. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Maybe I was.
No, it was probably my fault. Um, he I'm sure he had access to those cameras from anywhere in the world, you know? So, and they're probably stored on some sort of cloud
And
or
you know what? With
server somewhere.
all this creepy stuff he's doing and these underage children that he was foster homes and homeless or whatever children. No, Georgie said Missy Elliott too. See, thank you, Paul. Anyways, not that.
Thought you're getting me in trouble here.
Anyways, do you ever wonder if, I mean, they took all of his electronics. Do you think that he's possibly had uh, pedophile stuff? You know what I mean? On
Well,
in his
God, I hope
files,
not.
in his computers, or whatever. I mean,
I fucking hope not.
I wouldn't put that. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he did.
I hate to say that. I wouldn't be surprised, but all the
Be-
stuff that's been coming out about him, I really wouldn't be surprised.
well, I know
It's gross to even think about, but
I know with making people do videos, that just
yeah,
sounds like it would be a predator of that type.
yeah. Oh, God, he's so gross. Well, here it mentions Mary J. Blige. Is that what made you think of it? It says in 1992, Combs founded Bad Boy Records, a record label which has sold over 500 million records and where he produced Mary J. Blige, The Notorious B.I.G., and Usher. Bad Boy Entertainment is a domestic limited liability company licensed to business in New York. Combs Enterprises LLC is a domestic liability license to do business in New York. Upon information and belief, Combs Enterprises LLC is the parent company of Bad Boy Entertainment. Combs Enterprises LLC is a business conglomerate founded by P. Diddy that does business in the music, entertainment, fashion, spirits, and television industries.
Hmm.
And it says plaintiff. Says introduction. Plaintiff grew up in New York City and was raised by a single mother. In 1987, plaintiff began attending Syracuse University, as she was inspired to attend after hearing stories about her late father, who had attended the university and had died the same year she was born. That's sad. Plaintiff majored in psychology. Plaintiff was a hardworking student who balanced her studies while also working as a server at Wells Restaurant in Harlem, New York, to pay for her education. Let's see. I'm gonna take a drink real quick. Wonder how old she is. It says plaintiff was looking to make a foothold in the music industry and had worked as a receptionist at Apple One, a renowned talent agency, and as a location scout for Gary Buer, an industry cameraman. Plaintiff also collaborated with Chuck Stone, a film director, on music videos for Grammy awarding winning artist A Tribe Called Quest and Mazel. Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce that last name. Unless you know how to pronounce it.
Nudgicello? Nudgicello? I don't know. I'm not gonna even.
I would
In
butcher it.
in the indigo cello? I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, same. Let's see. Plaintiff met Sean Combs and learned of his reputation for abusing women. On repeated occasions, Combs pursued plaintiff for a romantic or sexual relationship. However, plaintiff had heard that Combs had a history of treating women badly and rejected Combs's advances each time. In fact, Sister Souljah, a rapper from the Bronx, pointedly asked plaintiff why she and Combs had been featured together in the music video for Straight from the Soul by Finesse and Sinqueeze. Plaintiff understood that Sister Souljah was warning her to stay away from Combs given his infamous reputation.
Mm,
So this goes back decades that
yeah.
people were warning. Well, this was okay. So this was back in 91. So his reputation has followed him for a long time. It says finally on January 3rd, 1991, during her winter break, Miss Dickerson reluctantly agreed to meet Combs in New York City. Again, wary of being alone with Combs, plaintiff chose Wells Restaurant in Harlem, New York, which was a familiar environment as she worked there as a server and knew the employees. At Wells, plaintiff began to feel more comfortable and her and Combs engaged in conversation over food and drinks. Later in the evening, plaintiff had to utilize the restroom and left her drink unattended. Combs indicated that he did not want the date to end and asked plaintiff to join him in doing some errands. He had to run around the city. While driving with Combs in his car, Combs produced a blunt and asked plaintiff to take a hit. Plaintiff politely declined, but Combs was insistent that plaintiff should, quote, roll with him and promised to have her home at a decent time so she could study. Feeling pressured, plaintiff reluctantly took a hit of the blunt. From that point on, plaintiff's memory is incomplete. Plaintiff recalls Combs bringing her to a music studio, and when she attempted to exit the car, her legs felt rubbery and she was unable to stand. Plaintiff next recalls being outside of a residence where it seemed Combs was living, except he rang the doorbell. A man who was an acquaintance of both plaintiff and Combs answered the door. Plaintiff recalls that being odd, as she believed, perhaps mistakenly, that it was Combs' home. You know, I saw a clip of Gene Deal. He's the one that I've posted the clip about laughing when he was like, "I'm a fuck reckon." Remember his
Oh,
former bodyguard?
yes. Yes, the bodyguard.
Yeah. He said that the way that Diddy,
Hey,
hey,
William.
William, he said that the way that Diddy and his crew spiked these or roofied these drinks
Mhm.
was, he said, people assumed that it was the booze that was roofied, right? And
Yeah.
he said that, but that was, they were mistaken. He said that, girls preferred these foofy type of drinks, with like the, um,
Fruity and
uh,
stuff, yeah. Fancy drinks.
yeah,
Yeah.
mojitos and things like that. And so they would roofie the juice. So it would be like the
Mm.
orange juice or, whatever the mixer is. And if it's, champagne or the bottle of alcohol, whatever the bottle is, they would open it right in front of them. So they, in their mind, thought they were just getting the booze without
Mhm.
realizing that the the drugs were in the juice. And that's how he was doing it. Because
Wow.
I guess that women in the past had said, "No, I don't want any," because he had this reputation of doing this. And they were like, "No, we'll open this bottle of champagne." And, and they popped the bottle in front of him as a way of showing, like, "No, this is not roofied. There's no drugs in
Yeah,
it."
this new
With
bottle. Yeah.
Right, without even thinking that it was the juice that had the drugs in it, which I thought was very interesting, and I'd never even thought of that.
Wow. So then the men that were involved in this knew not to have certain drinks either.
Yeah, not to drink, like, the orange juice or the mixer or
Mhm.
whatever,
Have something with it,
because
yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
It makes me wonder if the stewardess and the people that worked for Diddy took part in putting the drugs in these mixers, you know?
Oh.
Are are
Yeah,
are they
how did they get in the mixer? Who's the one that yeah, put them in the
Yeah,
mixer?
right.
And they would have had to have known it was in the mixer because they wouldn't have wanted the people the servers to have any of it themselves,
Yeah,
right?
right. Yeah, you wouldn't wanna drink
So
it.
it's gonna yeah,
And they
this
were
is
serving it to these people. It just raised a lot of questions.
yeah, this is gonna be a big case. It's too many angles.
Mhm. Yeah. So let's see. Take a drink real quick. It's very peculiar. Let's see. We got the plaintiff recalls that being odd, as she believed, perhaps mistakenly, that it was Combs's home. While in the home, Combs sexually assaulted plaintiff. Plaintiff recalls feeling humiliated and hurt, yet she could not escape the assault. Because she had been drugged, plaintiff lacked the physical ability or mental capacity to fend Combs off. The next day, plaintiff's vaginal area hurt in a way that she had never experienced from any prior consensual sexual encounters. That's the exact same thing that the Jane Doe case said yesterday.
Hmm.
Huh. Feeling confusion, pain, embarrassment, and shame, plaintiff did not go to the hospital or report the assault to the police and sought refuge in her apartment, avoiding any outside contact. The next day, plaintiff broke down and tearfully recalled Combs's sexual assault to her best friend. Shortly thereafter, Devontae Swing, a member of the R&B group Jodeci, told plaintiff that Combs had filmed himself sexually assaulting plaintiff and had shown the video to Swing and others while working at the studio. Plaintiff
Jeez.
asked Swing who had seen the video, and he replied, "Everyone." Plaintiff was mortified as she learned that Combs had filmed the assault and knew it would haunt her for the rest of her career. Swing
Well,
told
see,
plaintiff,
with
huh?
this being brought in this case, with this being brought in this case, and I would think that they had searched his studio then, because if this is being said and against allegations, and they raided his home, I'm pretty sure that they've probably did the studio too.
Well, don't you think we'd
Wouldn't you
have heard
think?
about it though? I mean,
Yeah, I don't know.
they've been following him everywhere. You'd think that we would have heard about if there was a raid at his studio. They should.
Uh, yeah.
It was probably either do as you're told or be in fear you're next. Yeah, maybe I'm old fashioned. I say being with a woman that actually wants to be with you is the way it should be. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the same could be said for women wanting to be with a man, you know?
Yeah.
And nobody deserves this. Where's his studio? I think it's in New Jersey, isn't it?
Yeah.
Uh,
I think that's where they flew that girl from
yeah.
Michigan.
Daddy's house recording. Daddy's house recording. Oh shit. What was it?
Unless he has two studios, one for,
It
gosh.
was. I know. I updated my thumbnails to have each case so it's easier to find them. It was Daddy's House Recordings Inc.
Okay.
So I updated them instead of doing like the part one, part two, whatnot. I updated them so that way they're case specific and easier to find. Thought he have a few in NYC jerseys because they didn't they raid his NYC. Well, yeah, we haven't heard much about the NYC raid at all, and I think that was just his like his Manhattan home or something.
Yeah, they did two homes that day, didn't they? At the
Well, they
same
did his
time?
LA, his Homely Hills home. They did his Miami home, and then I
Oh,
believe they
okay.
did his
New
home in
York.
Manhattan. I think
Oh,
it's in Manhattan, but I haven't heard anything about his studio at
hmm.
all. Uh-oh, where'd my dog go?
Possibly his studio is connected to one of the homes.
Connected. Yeah, I don't know. To finish this, I'm gonna finish this part in blue real quick, and then I'm gonna let the dog out real quick.
Okay.
Um, I don't know where she went to. Let's see. Plaintiff was mortified as she. Okay, I read that part. Swing told plaintiff that he wanted to speak up against Combs, but he was fearful that the band would lose their record deal. Jodeci was in the midst of recording their studio album Forever Lady, for which Combs was doing A&R, album and release. Um,
Hmm.
do you want me to move the screen up so you can read it, or do you just want to?
We can just wait. I can see what they're going to talk about in the chat.
Okay, just give me just a second. I'll be right back.
Okay. Okay. All right, guys. In the chat, what do you guys know that I don't know? Is there any new things that just came out today or anything? I haven't seen anything new. I mean, on YouTube, I've been seeing a lot popping up a lot about Justin Bieber. And I guess even 50 Cent touched on the Justin Bieber issue, but I didn't watch that one yet. Um, so I'm not sure. Nobody's talking. We would talk about my dog being a sous chef. You better watch out. Maybe nobody can hear me. Don't make me don't make me make Reagan sing when she gets back. It's complete abuse of power. It is. It is complete abuse of power. Got me side-eyeing all kinds of people. I think it's a day. Oh, it might be a delay. Okay. Yeah, you're right. I forgot there is delay. Um, yeah, it just makes you wonder. Like, good evening, Lauren. Reagan had to take her dog out for a second, but we're just going back over the Diddy court files, and we were just discussing how um, there's so many people involved in this. There's more and more and more, and how he's paid off. Don't say much says it makes me wonder what he did to do this. His making the band groups. Ooh, yeah. Yeah. The band groups. As far as the girl band, that one that Audrey O'Day was in, what was the name of that group? Um, Hiya, soul sister. Your soul sister's here, Lauren Marie. Now I'm singing that song in my head. Hey, sister, soul sister. Um, oh, I'm sure. Don't say much. I'm sure he's what do they call him? P Diddler. I'm sure he's diddled with a lot of artists. He's got something on everyone. It sounds like that's just the kind of person he is. Yeah, William, we're doing pretty good. Hope you are too. I heard there was a lot of abuse in the making of the band groups. Ooh, I haven't heard that part, Vault, but that's not surprising. Oh, Dainty Kane. Yes, that was Audrey O'Day, Dainty Kane. Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure that, like I said, I bet he's got something on everybody in there. Even the guys that were involved in stuff with him. Like that, what was his name? Aaron
Okay,
Hall. I'm sure that he has stuff on him.
I'm back.
Welcome back. We were just talking about how Diddy's got things probably on everybody, and how Don't Say Much says that it makes her wonder what he did to the making of the bands, the groups that
Yeah.
he was involved with.
I wonder if he's going to start throwing people under the bus
I don't
to
know,
say.
but do you think to save himself?
I hate to
I'm
say
like,
it, but I kind of feel like he would be a snitch.
yeah, and I think he's got dirt on everybody, and
Yeah.
I think,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
everybody. I mean, everybody, and that's the
I
way
bet he
he
does.
plays. Yeah, he's dirty
Yep.
like that. He can always have it for later if he needed
Mm-hmm.
something from you. Yeah.
Yeah. I bet he's got a lot.
Vault says, I suspect there's likely paid people in high authoritative positions. I bet there's too.
Hey, Lauren Marie. Oh, shoot. I forgot to shut the door. Hold on. Give me 1 second.
He'll probably be another Epstein. Yep, you're right, Lauren. It sounds like he's going to be worse than Epstein. Because there's like all these branches of people. I mean, like threatening and beating people and possibly murdering people, you know? Um, I don't think Epstein was involved with like any kind of abuse or unaliving people, was he? I don't think he was. I don't know though. I didn't read all of Epstein's doings,
Okay.
the whole thing. I meant ending up like him. Yes. I think you're right, Lauren. I think you're
And,
right.
and one of the cases,
They
I
might have
think it's
even known each other, hung with each other.
Epstein.
Yeah.
Probably. I wonder if his name is on the Epstein list that came out.
Ooh.
I think I have that list. If not, I can get it. It wouldn't shock me,
No, wouldn't.
but I think Diddy has his own island that is said to be similar to Epstein's island. So, okay, let's see. They owned
Oh,
islands next to each other. Yeah, okay. So he did have one. And he put his own airstrip on it, which people thought was suspect because there was an airport nearby and he could have just landed there and taken a boat like most people do.
but then he'd have less people knowing what he was doing,
Yeah.
having it airstrip on his
Hmm.
island. Who
He's
had the
probably trying to
airstrip? Epstein or Diddy?
Diddy.
Oh, Diddy does.
Yeah.
Ah.
Wonder if I can pull it up. Let me see. Hold
And
on.
those
Let's
are in
see
the
if I can.
Bahamas?
Yeah, let me see if I can pull it up.
What's with all these stars wanting to own an island?
Trying to see if I can pull it up. Waterfront villa. Um, wasn't it called like Love Island or something?
Maybe. Is that why he named himself Brother Love?
Waterfront home. No. Trying to see if I can find it. Oop, I don't know. I don't know that this is, I know that there's a couple islands, but I don't know if this is, let me get back to my screen here. Okay, can you see this?
There's a delay, so I can't see it yet.
Says Diddy expands his Star Island compound.
Okay, there it is.
Let's see.
Wow, that's beautiful.
That's nice.
Hmm.
Oh, the mirror's like built into the wall. Whoa, okay, it's moving on its own. That's not even me doing it. I think. Look at all those fridges.
Wow.
It's a nice place.
I'm sure many of parties were held there.
Yeah, no kidding. Star Island. Wait, is this in the Bahamas or is this in Miami? Star Island. Wouldn't that be in Miami?
Hmm.
Now that I'm thinking about it. So if that's in Miami, then that means that this is the home that was raided, right?
A house of hell. Well, it says it's the house of hell.
Diddy expands his Star Island compound. He already owns one Star Island home that he bought in 2003, and TMZ just learned that Diddy's is the mystery buyer behind the recent sale of Gloria and Emilio Estevan's Star Island home. Diddy
Yeah,
paid $35 million.
that's got to be Florida because they
Yeah,
got them
okay.
little. You could see the bridge,
Yeah, that's what threw me off. I'm like, wait a minute.
the elite live down there, probably down
Oh,
by
yep, here it
Miami,
is.
off of
Miami
Miami.
Beach. Yep.
Okay.
It says his new home is located near the Star Island home that Jennifer Lopez and Alex Rodriguez bought for $32.5 million before they split in early 2001. Star Island is one of the ritzy neighborhoods that was created during the early development of Miami Beach on causeways over Biscayne Bay. The Estevans used the home primarily for Emilio's mother before she died in 2017, and then as a $30,000 per month rental. God, could you imagine that?
Hmm.
The Estevans paid $1.8 million for the home in 1993.
Wow. So he paid 35 million for it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
In 1992, Miami's Beach Polite Society was rocked with the news that the infamous gangster Chicago crime boss Al. Okay, now these people are going to send me all over the place. Al Capone's Florida home heads for wrecking ball. Huh. Okay, this is totally. I probably shouldn't even be looking at this. Now I'm sidetracked. Oh. I got to remember this time. Hold on. Let me look at my timestamp where I'm at because I just totally screwed up this. So I'm at 1 hour, 26 minutes. I just went from Diddy to Al Capone. I'm sorry, guys.
So this is not out. This isn't Diddy's home.
No, I clicked on Al Capone. The first one was Diddy. Now I'm on Al Capone.
Well, Al
I
Capone
got
lived very well too.
I got curious. I was like, huh, what's this one? So yeah, I had to all timestamp where I got a little sidetracked.
Okay, so this one we're looking at is no. This one's Al Capone
Yeah,
because I see the under the overlay under
yeah.
the.
I just pulled a squirrel. That big ass bathroom,
Squirrel.
and this is what they're working with here, huh? Whoa, that's a huge pool. A guardhouse is at the end of the pool at the edge of the bay to protect Capone from incoming boats. Oh, that's a guardhouse, huh? Interesting. Because it says on the. Whoa, what just happened? Oh. Who knew? That makes sense, though. There is boat launching access to the bay running along the side of the property. So this is his boathouse.
Al Capone's.
Yeah. Yeah, guardhouse, because it says right here. I don't know if you can.
But is
I tried
this
to.
Diddy bought Al Capone's house too?
No, I totally went off track.
Oh,
This is nothing related to Diddy. I just saw Al Capone and I clicked on it. But down here it says the guardhouse is at the end of the pool at the edge of the bay. That sounds like a good song. End of the pool at the end of the bay. Okay, how about I just get out of this? Oh, I only have 11 picks. How do I get out? Jeez, come on. No, I got sidetracked. I'm not going to get sidetracked again. Um, oh, hell, I'm not reading all that. That's enough. Okay, we're back on track. Sorry. Okay. Now we're back on Diddyland. So let's see. I guess I'll start reading again since I was way off track. So this has nothing to do with Al Capone. Says following Combs's assault, plaintiff suffered an emotional breakdown. Are you good, Georgie?
hmm.
Okay, I just want to make sure. It says, in the coming weeks, plaintiff did her best to pull herself together so she could return to Syracuse University. Despite this, plaintiff experienced traumatic flashbacks to the assault, extreme sleepiness for days on end, social withdrawal, and would recoil at even the most basic physical touch. Plaintiff felt physically unable to leave her dorm at Haven Hall, thus, she was frequently absent from her classes.
Mm.
Plaintiff also had an inability to focus and concentrate as her mind constantly replayed Combs's assault, leading her grades to plummet. It's sad. Plaintiff's mother grew so concerned with plaintiff's sudden downturn in her emotional state and her repeated assertions that she no longer wanted to live. Thus, plaintiff's mother instructed her to go to the emergency room. Plaintiff was admitted into a psychiatric unit to treat her emotional trauma, and her physicians diagnosed her as experiencing clinical depression. After plaintiff was discharged, she continued to experience emotional turmoil as everyday interactions triggered memories of the assault. Plaintiff also became socially isolated as her classmates labeled her crazy as they learned of her admission into the psychiatric unit.
Oh.
Man, that's sad. She got bullied for that. I wonder if he even bothered to check on her or anything, because I'm sure he heard about it.
Now, what college? Is this the college that he went to, Howard or whatever, where he
No, she went to
would pick
Syracuse,
people up? Oh, okay. Because I
but I'm
guess
sure he
every
heard about
year,
it.
yeah.
I mean, especially if she spoke to the guy from Jodeci, you know,
Hmm.
and he had a record label with Diddy. I'm sure that Diddy learned of what happened to her, you know. I wonder if he
Hmm.
checked on her at all. I'm not saying that she wanted to talk to him, but you'd think that he
Keep
might be a little concerned at that point.
keep an eye on her, yeah.
Yeah.
Unless, like you said, he just became bolder and bolder and didn't he thought he was invincible.
Yeah. And it says plaintiff sought justice against Combs for sexually assaulting her. As plaintiff began to recover, she desperately sought to hold Combs to account for the crimes he committed against her. Plaintiff's mom told her to contact Pastor Calvin Butts of the historic, oh God, how do you pronounce that?
Abby, uh, Abyssian, Abyssinian Church,
Uh,
Abyssinian. I don't know. Abyssian. Am I pronouncing that right?
I
I know
have no
it's
idea.
abyss. I know it's Abyssinian.
Abyss, you got
Whatever.
me. Yeah.
The
The
Abyss
church.
Church. Hmm.
Hey, Gina Marie. Good to
Hey,
see you. Happy
Gina.
Friday. Um, in Harlem, New York, however, plaintiff felt too ashamed to speak with Pastor Butts. So, oh God, I'm such a child. I want to giggle at his name. It's so bad.
Mr.
I need
Butts.
to
Yeah.
grow up. Um, as she worried he would judge her. Plaintiff filed police reports in New York and New Jersey. Oh, I wonder if FOIA time. Uh, Plaintiff filed police reports in New York and New Jersey and spoke to several prosecutors hoping to press charges. So she did try to press charges.
Mm.
Tha- That's the first we've heard of someone trying to press charges. Um, Members of law enforcement told plaintiff that her allegations would need to be corroborated by witnesses and others who had experienced similar assaults. What the fuck?
Wow.
That
So they needed
unbelievable.
proof. They needed proof. They were looking at it as an
Needed
allegation. Yeah.
witnesses? Since, I mean, basically, so someone else needed to be there to see her get sexually assaulted? Like, what the fuck?
Well, maybe because she didn't go to the police and she didn't go anywhere right away. And there's so many people that make accusations against stars and whatever that that's why they needed somebody to corroborate, to be the witness and know that this happened or had something happen to them that was similar. So that's possibly. And then, oh well, wow, she had a revenge porn tape.
Yeah, he
Wow.
because he was showing it at the studio. He showed everybody.
Yeah, yeah. So they wanted her to find it.
Yeah,
They
says
wanted her
plaintiff
to
was
find it.
yeah. Plaintiff also approached various friends, acquaintances, and colleagues to assist her in locating the revenge porn tape. Colleagues told plaintiff that they were terrified that Combs would retaliate against them and that they would lose future business and music opportunities if they made a statement in support of plaintiff, as Combs's star was on the rise in the 1990s. Combs had experienced great success with the launch of the career of the Notorious B.I.G., whose hit single Juicy had charted on Billboard. Some potential witnesses were afraid of Combs' wrath, as he was known to be violent, while others declined because they feared that they would not be invited to his future parties and events.
Aw.
Hello,
I heard that
Siriana.
I heard that there were people that the elite that were they looked forward to these parties. You had to have invitations like I said, and there was people dying to get into these parties that he was throwing,
Yeah,
like other celebrities.
I think
Hey,
there's
Serena.
clips of Ellen.
Siriana. Siriana. It's
Siriana.
a pretty name. Siriana.
Mm-hmm. It is a pretty name.
I need to clean too.
I always
Um,
need to clean.
oh, see? So Combs tried to dissuade the plaintiff from reporting him. So he did
Mhm.
interject in
Yeah,
her
says despite her
that,
emotional pain, plaintiff continued to work in the music industry and began working for Stress Management, a DJ management company. That's a weird name for a DJ management company. Okay. That represented DJ Funkmaster Flex and others. At Stress Management, plaintiff supervisor was Jessica Rosenbaum, who was also known for creating Mecca, a party series where many of New York's hip hop legends performed. Plaintiff helped promote Rosenbaum's parties and also acted as her personal assistant, completing any errands she had. On one night, plaintiff was working at one of Rosenbaum's parties when she unfortunately ran into Combs and did her best to avoid talking with him. Despite plaintiff's efforts, Combs backed plaintiff into a corner and inappropriately confronted her in public.
huh,
Combs dramatically got down on his knees before insisting that he wanted her to believe him when he said that he did not do what she was saying. Wait, they spelled her name different. Rosenblum noticed Combs's odd behavior and asked why he was begging her forgiveness. Oh, that was just a mistype how they spelled it. Okay. Plaintiff merely told Rosenblum that Combs had wronged her and she was afraid of divulging more, as Rosenblum often worked with Diddy. Hmm. Plaintiff left the music industry as Diddy's rise was too painful to witness. After working for Stress Management, plaintiff began writing music video treatments However, that's such a weird ass name for a DJ company. Um, However, plaintiff realized that she could not continue to work in the music industry as Combs's star continued to rise and his presence was inescapable. Plaintiff decided to try her hand at screenwriting and ended up moving to California, moving thousands of miles from the location of the assault. Plaintiff had always wanted to work at a record label, but she knew that dream had uh, cratered as Combs continued to garner multi platinum albums and win Grammys. Plaintiff's emotional trauma resurges. Plaintiff has spent years trying to recover from the emotional trauma she experienced at Combs's hand. Uh-oh. Did I lose Georgie? I think I might have. I think I lost Georgie. Oopsies. Georgie, if you're there, I think I lost you. Let's see. Plaintiff has spent years trying to recover from the emotional trauma she experienced at Combs's hand. During the COVID-19 pandemic, plaintiff spent hours rereading her journals. Oop, wrong screen. And digitizing them. However, she felt physically ill once she reached the time period in which she met Combs. Plaintiff could not stomach continuing the project. It was the filing of the lawsuit about his abuse of Cassie Ventura on November 16th, 2023, that forced her to face his assault again. After reading about the lawsuit, plaintiff spoke to an ex-boyfriend for the first time in years after reading Miss Ventura's lawsuit. During their conversation, plaintiff's ex recalled how she would become physically ill and recoil every time Combs's music was played or his name was mentioned. Still hoping for justice. Oh, no worries, Georgie. If you hear this, I see you. I see your message. During their conversation, plaintiff's where was that? Sorry. Plaintiff's ex recalled how she'd become physically ill and recoil every time Combs's music was played or his name was mentioned. Still hoping for justice. Plaintiff brings this case against Combs now. While many years have passed, Combs's illegal conduct has cast a shadow over her life. Years later, plaintiff has continued to see mental health providers who have aided in her recovery and treated her PTSD. Tragically, despite several attempts, plaintiff has not been able to finish her college degree as her subconscious associates her studies with the assault. Combs's conduct forever changed the trajectory of her career, denying her what might have been a lucrative and successful career in the music industry. Plaintiff is confident she can prove her case through at least a dozen witnesses to testify to her severe emotional distress and harm that she experienced after the assault. And we've got the causes of action, which go by pretty quick because a lot of it is repetitive. The first one is the assault and battery against defendant Combs. This is too big for me. Hold on, I gotta go back. Oop, no, that's too small. He does need to rot in prison. This one, defendant Combs committed assault and battery against plaintiff because he intentionally engaged in unlawful, intentional, and offensive touching or application of force to plaintiff's person. As a result of defendant Combs's alleged conduct, plaintiff has suffered physical injuries, severe emotional distress, humiliation, embarrassment, anxiety, economic harm, and other consequential damages. And then this is going to be repetitive. This is going to say the same thing on all of them pretty much. The second cause of action is the intentional infliction of emotional distress. This is against all defendants. Defendant Combs engaged in outrageous conduct by unlawfully administering to plaintiff a narcotic or intoxicating substance, transporting her, forcing her to engage in sexual intercourse, creating a video recording of the sexual intercourse, and distributing the recording throughout New York State without her consent. Defendant Combs's actions were intended to cause harm to plaintiff or recklessly disregarded the substantial possibility of causing plaintiff severe emotional distress. As a result of defendant Combs's alleged conduct, plaintiff has suffered physical injuries, severe emotional distress, humiliation, embarrassment, anxiety, economic harm, and other consequential damages. Then we go into the sex trafficking. This is against all defendants. So we've got his companies. One that says all defendants. Plaintiff is a victim of sex trafficking. And, oh, hold on. Sorry, I got a text. Defendants unlawfully administered to plaintiff a narcotic or intoxicating substance in New York State, transported her, forced her to engage in sexual intercourse, and made a video recording of the, quote, revenge porn, which he distributed throughout New York State, all without her consent. As a direct and proximate result of defendant's unlawful conduct, as alleged here and above, plaintiff has suffered physical injury, severe emotional distress and anxiety, humiliation, embarrassment, post-traumatic stress disorder, emotional harm, and other consequential damages. Plaintiff seeks reasonable attorney fees and litigation costs, including but not limited to expert witness fees and expenses. Third cause of, wait a minute, it says third cause of action. Is that really the third? 1, 2, 3, I guess so. This one is the revenge porn law against all defendants. This one gives us the actual law. It says New York State Civil Rights Law. Any person depicted in a still or video image, regardless of whether or not the original still or video image was consensually obtained, shall have a cause of action against an individual who, for the purpose of harassing, annoying, or alarming such person, disseminated or published or threatened to disseminate or publish such still or video image where such image was taken when such person had a reasonable expectation that the image would remain private, and B, depicts an unclothed or exposed intimate part of such person, or such person engaging in sexual conduct as defined in subdivision 10 of section 130 of penal code or penal law with another person, and C, was disseminated or published or threatened to be disseminated or published without consent of such person. If you guys can see that. I don't know if anybody's ever really looked at, I mean, granted, this is New York, but they're all pretty similar. So, plaintiff was depicted in a video image in which Combs engaged in sexual contact with her as defined under the New York penal law, or in which plaintiff's body was unclothed or her intimate parts were exposed. Plaintiff did not consent to the depiction as she was mentally incapacitated, as plaintiff was rendered temporarily incapable of consenting to sexual contact as defendant Combs administered to her a narcotic or intoxicating substance without consent. Additionally, plaintiff was mentally incapacitated as plaintiff was rendered temporarily incapable of consenting to being featured in an intimate visual depiction as defendant Combs administered to her a narcotic or intoxicating substance without her consent. Jesus, guy. Let's see. The revenge porn one, they went on for a while about this one. As Combs administered to plaintiff a narcotic or intoxicating substance without her consent, Combs knowingly, willfully, or recklessly disregarded that plaintiff did not consent to the intimate visual depiction. Combs disseminated or published the video without plaintiff's consent in order to harass, annoy, or alarm plaintiff. Combs disseminated or published the video without plaintiff's consent to her colleagues in order to cause economic. fi- Why does it say someone's at my front door? What the hell? Hold on. Oh, it's my own house. Okay. Sorry. It kind of freaked me out. I was like, who the hell's at my front door this late? Um, uh, where was I at? Combs disseminated or published the video without plaintiff's consent to her colleagues in order to cause her economic, physical, or substantial economical or emotional harm. Plaintiff would be identifiable to others from the intimate images or from the circumstances in which Combs disclosed the images to colleagues or plaintiff. Plaintiff is entitled to an award of compensatory and punitive damages, injunctive and declaratory relief, attorney's fees, reasonable cost. Same stuff they always say. This is the same gender motivated act they said in the very beginning. I can probably skip this part because they addressed this in the beginning. Well, aside from this, upon information and belief, defendant Combs' acts of physical assault illustrate that he is a misogynistic who took pleasure in hurting women, and thus his assaults were gender motivated. Interesting. Despite the fact that it was an open secret that Combs abused women, they continued to employ him. I'm just picking parts of it. That's standard. As a fifth cause of action, this is revenge porn again against all defendants. Revenge porn provides in part, it is unlawful for a covered recipient to disclose an intimate image without the depicted individual's consent with the intent to cause economic, physical, or substantial emotional harm to such depicted individual, where such depicted individual is or would be identifiable to another individual either from the intimate image or from the circumstances under which such image is disclosed. Plaintiff was depicted in a video image in which Combs engaged in sexual contact with her as defined under penal law, in which plaintiff's body was unclothed. We kind of saw that already. Plaintiff was mentally incapacitated. I mean, it's they're reiterating stuff that they stated in their complaint. Publish the video without our consent. That kind of goes to the Jodeci thing. Let me see. And then we're at the end. So that is that. Prayer for relief. Let's see. There really isn't none of these have a specific dollar amount on them, which, to be honest, is expected. Emotional distress, damages for defendant's breach of contract, attorney fees and costs, punitive damages, mental emotional injury and distress pain. We made it through another one. This is just insane. I know. I'm curious if there's anything else that's going to come out, you know? It seems like a never ending. If there's till March 1st, 2025, if there's anything else that's going to come up. I'm really curious about that. I think that what would you guys like to see next? Would you, I mean, there is that 98-page complaint, which a lot of people have been covering that one. There is, if you're interested in the opinion and order in the Jane Doe case on what the judge said about keeping her identity private, which direction, what would you like to see next? I mean, obviously, we're going to continue to do updates on these various cases. I'm sure they're going to be constant updates all the time on these cases. There's so many of them. And we've got Christian Combs, too. Got that case. So you guys are going to have to let me know what you want to see next. But it should be interesting. I need to look into those old cases, too, with the Cindy woman who sued him, the personal chef. Need to look into that. So there you have it. If Georgie, are you somewhere listening? I was curious if you were going to be going live or not. I was pondering, I was thinking, I kind of want to get a timeline of, I need to do that. I need to do a timeline. And it seems like with all of these cases, like more pieces of the puzzle are put together, you know? So is anybody else going live I can redirect to? Let me see. You guys know if anybody going live? Oop, that's not my password. If Georgie is going live or not. And I need to fix my timeline since I got stuck on Al Capone's house. What the hell is this? 5 teens shot at senior skip day event? Oh my God. Your Crack Elf is premiering Saladgate. I don't even know what's going on. Well, I don't know if nobody else goes live. It's not, I mean, it's not like I have a ton of viewers to even send over to anybody. Let's be honest here. But if nobody else goes live, I might go live again just to shoot the shit. I don't know, see what's going on. I'll see. But just to keep this one strictly Diddy, I don't want to mix anything up. So I'll close this live out and I'll text Georgie and see what that kitty cat is up to. And I appreciate everyone who stopped in here. I know this may not be exciting to some, may be interesting to some. If you have any ideas on which Diddy direction you want to go next, you're so welcome, Fight Like a Girl. You're very welcome. I think the rabbit holes with him, all of this is very interesting. I feel like we're peeling back the layers of the onion and getting a bigger picture at what these rap moguls and celebrities do. I mean, it's like a secret life, you know? So we'll continue to I'm kind of curious about this whole Jane Doe thing. And there is another Jane Doe case I need to hunt down because in November there was another lawsuit that was filed by a Jane Doe. So there was two Jane Doe cases that were filed. And I need to hunt that one down. So when I find that one, we'll talk about it. And I'll see if I can figure out the differences from the Rodney Jones original complaint to the 98-page complaint and what went on there. So we've got a lot. I want to find out about these secret societies, this blood magic stuff that Jay-Z was apparently into. I'm curious about that. So, War, if you hear this, if you're in the bushes, reach out to me. Oh, you're so welcome, Virgie. I'm glad you stuck around. Pop into chat more often. It's good to see you. If you guys have any thoughts, opinions, suggestions, I'm open to all of it. And if I don't see you later tonight, I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy yourself, and please always protect your mental health and protect yourself no matter what. You are most important, and I I just I worry about people, and I want you to protect yourself at any cost necessary. So I'll talk to you guys soon, and thank you for joining me. Have a good night.